I'm gonna try to make this one quick because I'm in a car without my handy dandy microphone, and this light might go off because I have my, and I was waiting on that because I have my car off right now to preserve some of the quality of sound so that you don't hear the engine instead of me, because I don't have my handy dandy microphone. I have about 9 minutes left. Probably about 7 are still content of one of my favorite podcasts of the year 2026 so far. And it has inspired and jolted and just a whole bunch of good qualities and emotions and provoked. What is the word for the act of provoking? Provoked? I don't think that's right. It was the Lex Fridman podcast with the creators and maintainers of FFmpeg, and it's almost 5 hours long. It probably took me about a week to get through in my downtimes amongst other consumption, but it was so good on so many levels. Things like that restore and reinforce and rejuvenate my hope for humanity, my faith in humanity, my faith in goodness, my faith in collective contributions. It's just so cool to see that there's things that are that important that are handled in a way that aligns with how I imagine and think that things should be handled in terms of open source, as well as these guys are fucking geniuses. And they're geniuses to another dimension than the average Joe. And even the average Joe in computer science, in technologies. And I learned so much in that podcast, in the realms that, because I have recorded YouTube videos, real ones, not like, I mean, this is a real one, but ones where I'm intending for it to be high quality. I've streamed, I've taken photos, and photos are not as relevant right now, but the idea of learning from them and really understanding, I was aware of FFmpeg and VLC, but I wasn't aware in full context. And they gave it in full context. And I was just amazed, and I learned so much about the things that I knew of but did not understand. And now I understand. Stuff as simple as bitrate, stuff as simple as codecs, encoding, decoding. I knew of those things, but now I know those things because I just heard it from the mouth of the people that have created one of the most important things touching those realms, and they've been doing it for 20 years. As long as I've been alive, they've been working on video or video-centric things. I'm in awe. I'm in awe. And I love being in awe. If I could just sit in awe, that might be better than dopamine from a casino. Dopamine, I don't know about dopamines from drugs. I don't do drugs. Dopamine from sex. Dopamine from, like, it does something to me to be in the state of awe. And the fact that we are in a day and age to where people that have that level of intellect, people that have that level of very niche knowledge can get on a podcast and just give game away for free, and all I have to do is just listen. And it's not just them. I've talked about this in the past. In the video where I'm pointing at a TV with Cam Newton. Cam Newton no ball. These guys know ball. And all I got to do is listen. And I get it to download. That's like having a grandma, a grandpa, 17 uncles that are all the best world-class, state-of-the-art intellects in a certain domain. And these things are just being given for free. And then people wonder why they're behind the needle for things that are coming in the future. Bro, you not listening to Brody? Brody's at the cutting edge of video. He's telling you what his startup is doing. And 10 years down the line, you're going to be like, man, I wish I would have thought of that. Man, I wish I would have known that. Listen, this shit's literally on the fucking internet. And this is not the only case. Bro, there's so many people giving free game. And all you got to do is want it and download it. It's just, I can't even, bro, this shit is just, all you have to do is want it and it is there. With all the slop that exists in this world, there are open source projects that are amazing. There are people that are on social media that are giving free game. There are 20-year, 30-year vets in every domain that you can think of posting something, whether it be a blog still in the big old 2026, doing an interview, doing a podcast, doing social media content. It's there and it's abundant. And for someone like me that loves so many different domains and I can just download general knowledge from the person that's been doing it since almost as long as I've been alive, and then I can just listen to that for 5 hours. Fuck it, what's 5 hours? That's 20 years of game in 5 hours. I'll take that every single time. Like I said, I wish I can just sit in this state of awe all my life. And I find those things and it just rejuvenates me and it gives me a jolt. Because this shit is really amazing, bro. We are humans being able to make extraordinary things in technology. It is unprecedented, the amount of information and the amount of progression that people are doing in this era. And a lot of it gets blocked by things that are driven by capitalism, like AI and the CapEx and things like that. But nobody's fucking talking about FFmpeg. Nobody talking about that shit. Nobody talking about other open source things. Nobody's talking about another thing that I just recently actually figured out. I understood it, but I didn't realize that it was this free. Even OpenAI. OpenAI text-to-speech model is fucking free. You can run it with a command on your computer and get a transcript. Something as simple as that is like, that shit free. Niggas pay for that shit. When that shit's free. But they ain't know no better. I'm off my soapbox, man. There's no reason in today's day and age, if you have access to the internet and you have curiosity and you have drive and you are able to find some of those things that give you awe, that can give you inspiration, that in the year 2026, you should be complaining about being able to get shit done. There are some scenarios where, yeah, you shit out of luck. You down bad. And that's real. There are people like that. But even still, man, the internet is one of the best and worst things that's ever. That's my time. Best and worst things that ever happened to the world, and it's evident. And I just can't wait for the future, man. I'm a quarter of what I want to live in my lifetime, and I'm just so overwhelmed with the possibilities of what my life is going to look like at 50, at 70. This shit's crazy, dog. Stay up, be curious, go find you some shit to sit in, some awe.